I did not expecting this much buffs, but it happened yesterday. Majority of the spells getting buffed in 3.29 and one of them immediately got my attention, and that's Crackling Lens. This skill got massively buffed across the board. As always, I try to keep the build tonky as possible. What's up guys, Bridget here. Basics of this skill. While you casting Crackling Lens, you will start gaining Intensify, granting 45% more damage per stacks. This can be stacked up 3 times by default. If you're using the caster mastery, you can increase this number to 4. Your spell is also changing how it's functioning while you gaining Intensify. Without any stacks, you release a lot of beams that is covering a very large area in front of you. When you gaining stacks, the beam reducing its spread, making your character shoot out a big laser. Now the buffs to Crackling Lens. This one is pretty huge. Damage effectiveness got increased. Also, the base damage of this skill is much higher than before, although the mana cost got increased by 25% on all levels, which luckily can be mitigated pretty easily because we're taking Elementalist and the Lightning Golem we are providing us a lot of mana regen, so basically we're just ignoring completely this mana increase. Also very big buff that is coming in 3.29 that is applies to almost any skill in the game. You can now ignore the socket colors. You can socket inside a blue socket, a red gem, or a green, or just a blue. If you're matching the socket colors, you're getting 10% gem quality, which is kinda huge, especially for the Crackling Lens, because that is providing you more damage per Intensify. So this is basically an additional buff to this skill. So that's why I think this is one of the biggest winner of this patch. Why we choosing Elementalist? Well, as you may know, Shaper of Storms will providing us a very huge amount of shock value. So that is increasing the damage taken of the target 65%, which is kind of massive, especially with that much base damage that is going on with the Crackling Lens. And of course, golems, right? All of the goodies, cost speed, crit chance, damage increase, and also tonkiness as well, and also we getting mana regen and life regen as well. Mastermind of Discord. This will provide us a very huge amount of exposure value, and this will increase our damage even further. And also the last ascendancy node is Shapers of Flame that is providing us a huge defensive layer. When you igniting an enemy, you are converting 40% of the enemy physical damage to fire damage. Essentially, this is making like 40% phys damage taken as fire, which is a very huge amount of damage reduction, especially if you combining with the endurance charges, because this build can be generate endurance charges pretty easily. Every single time when you're blocking, you basically getting an endurance charge, and also while you're killing, you will have all of your endurance charges, so basically making this build absolutely tonky while you mapping. I just want to show you the planned POB. This is not the final, and also it's subject to change, guys, because this is just literally I throw together in the last couple of hours, and also I had already an Elementalist base for this one because I was expecting some sort of spell buffs across the board, so that's why I had that much different spell ready in my POB. Basically, you can luckily very easily simulate all of the changes. So first thing first, the current level 21 gem will be the new level 20 version, and also if you getting lucky, you can get a level 21 version on the league start, making your damage even further higher. And also you have to know the qualities is also getting buffed, because we will still want to use like blue sockets, right? So basically when you're socketing your Crackling Lens or any of your support gems inside a blue socket, because this one is blue, you will getting 10% quality, so that's why it's set it to 30 quality till the POB getting updated. And also in the custom configuration tab, I also included all of the buffs and the nerf as well to the mana cost. This is how I simulating the skill. Although guys, I can be wrong, please, so keep this in mind. If you think I made a mistake here, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much. And now back to the topic. So basically the skill tree looks like this, guys. So we focusing on very heavily on lightning damage and increased effect of lightning elements. What is lightning elements? Basically the shock effect, and this is why we increasing the maximum shock effect even further because of the Shaper of Storm once again. So every single time when you hit the enemy, it will almost immediately getting 65% shock effect, which is increasing your damage significantly. If I disabling this one, you can see literally like 50% more damage. That is very valuable, especially on league start. And also very important, the caster mastery here, spells which can gain intensify have +1 to maximum intensify. As you can see here, this mastery is literally providing us 24% more damage, making this caster mastery pretty damn viable. And also this build is a non-crit version of this build currently, so we're using elemental overload because that is providing us literally 40% more damage if you die to critical strike recently. And basically this is pretty damn easily can be achieved because the golems getting us a very huge amount of critical hit chance, as basically you will have 100% uptime on this one. And also I'm planning to use the zealot oath keystone, and because the life regeneration is applied to energy shield, but why we need energy shield regen? Why would you ask, right? And also we getting leech as well, energy shield leech. So because I'm planning to use as well as a damage boost the righteous fire of arcane devotion. So basically this is granting us 24% more cost speed. As you can see here, that is a hefty amount of cost speed to fit in, right, with a single skill gem. So basically that's why I need a lot of energy shield regen, because this skill is literally burning you as percentage of your mana. So that's why it's very important, because if I disabling it, you can literally see we will slowly start losing out energy shield. So that's why I'm planning to use this one. And the rest of the tree is focusing on the defensive layers, because once again, this is a block based build, right? So basically we have almost capped the spell block, and we have capped the block chance as well. So basically the easiest way to achieve that one, you're taking here the aggressive bastion down there, you're taking the as the mountain, and also here taking the safeguard, and here the arcane guarding, and also the shield mastery here, and the block mastery as well. So basically that is providing you a lot of block chance, and basically you will have a very nice block chance, and you getting very close to block cap. 2 words about the items, guys. So basically this PoB, as always, guys, I have literally 0 damage modifiers, or just 1 or 2 damage modifier on my items. So basically this one is very achievable even on like first few hours of the league. And also the amulet is also pretty accessible, and I left all of the suffixes empty because you will need to cap your resistances. So that's why I have the 200% to all resistances modifier, because I'm kind of lazy to click every single item that one. Though I would say you very important to get as soon as possible lightning exposure on hit on your glove, because when you reaching your last labyrinth, then you will take the mastermind of discord, and you will need exposure infliction for this one. So basically this is how you can get that one, because there is no other way, if I'm remembering correctly, without the implicit to get that one currently in the game. Maybe the new league will adding something new to this one, but we don't know that one. But yeah, so basically that's it. The Javel's is very obtainable. Once again, you can see percentage life and a little bit spell damage. This is an absolutely nice and easily obtainable Javel's. It's not even costing anything, because I think many people will going for crit. So basically they will want crit damage multipliers, so that's why we can snag in these ones and basically have a very cheap setup. Well guys, this was my first league starter idea and preview. So after I seen the buffs, I was mind blown away, and I was just throw together a very basic character. I will link that character in the mobility guide as well, so you can see how bad it was. Literally, it was just rares and a wand, and basically that's it. So even my support gems was leveling up while I was mapping. So I was using very low items and very garbage gear. But even with that, it was absolutely fun to play, and I cannot wait to see about the game, about the buffs that is happening in 3.29. Till then, guys, I will working on the full build guide, you know, the leveling, the whole, note section, endgame version as well. So this will coming in the following days, and before Friday, of course, I will do a couple, more test runs. So I will, smooth out much better the leveling part. But honestly, I think Elementalist has a very nice leveling. It's almost no matter what you're doing, you will have fun with it. Till then guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/project2 and also on my YouTube channel as well. I started streaming, so if you more like that guy, you can join to my stream there and ask questions. Till then, thanks for tuning in. I was Project. See you next time.